Welcome to my channel, the program where we connect modern Western science with enduring Eastern wisdom. I'm Dr. William Harris. Today, we'll focus on a very specific period of the day, one that may be the most important, yet the most overlooked. It's not about your workout or what you eat at dinner. It's about the first 60 minutes after you open your eyes. So let's ask the key question. Why is this first hour so critical for brain health, particularly for those of us over 60? From a medical perspective, our bodies go through what can be described as a physiological perfect storm the moment we wake. It involves three natural processes. First, the body is slightly dehydrated. After 7 to 8 hours without fluid, blood volume decreases, becoming a bit thicker and harder for the heart to pump. Second, there is what's known as the cortisol awakening response, or CAR. This is a natural surge of the stress hormone cortisol, designed to bring you into alertness. Think of it as the body's built-in high-intensity alarm clock. And third, blood pressure follows a circadian rhythm, reaching its peak during that first hour of the morning. In younger, healthy bodies, this combination isn't a problem, but in people over 60, with arteries that may no longer be as flexible, this mix of thicker blood, stress hormone surge, and peak blood pressure creates a high-risk environment. It's a window of real vulnerability for a cardiovascular event like a stroke. To help us understand this better, not just from a scientific standpoint, but also from a lifetime of human observation, I want to draw on the words of a remarkable physician, Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara. For more than 70 years, he guided patients into their 80s, 90s, and even beyond. Today, I will be sharing some of his insights and experiences and reflecting on what he once said. Dr. Hinohara often emphasized that a stroke is not simply a sudden event, it is the destination of a path we unknowingly walk each morning. But as he reminded us, the good news is that we can always choose a different path. Dr. Hinohara once pointed out that before a major stroke ever occurs, the body often sends whispers rather than screams. In my own words today, I want to highlight what he emphasized from his decades of practice. The earliest and most commonly overlooked sign that every person over 60 should recognize. It is not sudden pain. It is not dramatic dizziness. It is something much more subtle and, for that reason, far more dangerous. The very first warning is often a quiet loss of coordination, a sudden clumsiness in the hands. For instance, you might reach for your morning cup of tea and notice that your fingers don't respond as they should. The pen might feel unusual in your hand when you try to write a note. Dr. Hinohara once described a patient, a 73-year-old woman named Patricia, a master of knitting and a skilled artisan. She came not because she felt ill, but because, as she said, her hands no longer felt like her own in the morning. She was dropping stitches and struggled even to thread her needle. Her hands, which had produced beauty for more than 60 years, suddenly felt as though they belonged to a stranger. She thought it was due to aging or her eyes growing tired, but it wasn't. It was her brain sending a signal. This story illustrates what in Western medicine we call a TIA, or transient ischemic attack, often referred to as a mini-stroke. That quiet loss of fine motor control is a classic symptom. As Dr. Hinohara explained, the science behind it is clear. At the back of the head lies the cerebellum, the part of the brain that serves as the master coordinator of movement. It is highly sensitive to even the smallest drop in blood flow and oxygen. When circulation is interrupted for just a brief moment, coordination falters. That is why you may notice fumbling, clumsiness, or a knitting needle slipping from your grasp. Dr. Hinohara often referred to a study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association, JAHA, that underlined the importance of recognizing these TIA symptoms. Nearly 1/3 of people who experience them go on to suffer a major stroke within a year if these early signals are ignored. His words serve as a powerful reminder. Paying attention to those first, quiet signs can save lives. Dr. Hinohara also said many times that our morning routines act like medicine. They can heal us or harm us, depending on the choices we make. Let us now look more closely at the 5 most dangerous morning habits observed in patients over 60. Dr. Hinohara taught that the first mistake people make is also the most common, reaching for coffee before reaching for water. It may appear harmless, but the science behind it is clear. When you wake up, your body is already dehydrated. This makes the blood thicker, more viscous. In simple terms, your heart has to work much harder to pump this thicker blood through the entire circulatory system, especially through arteries that may already have narrowed with age. It is like trying to force syrup through a thin straw instead of water. That alone puts extra stress on both the heart and the brain. He explained it with a simple picture. You would never try to grow a garden by planting seeds in dry soil. You always water the soil first. So why would we try to stimulate the brain with caffeine before hydrating it with water? A glass of warm water, he often said, is the first act of kindness you can give your body each day. It is a way of honoring the work your body has done all night to repair itself. The second habit Dr. Hinohara often warned about is skipping breakfast. Today, many call it fasting, but without understanding the risks it carries for older adults. While intermittent fasting may benefit some people, for those over 60, especially anyone with diabetes or taking blood pressure medication, it can be dangerous. The brain is an organ that consumes a great deal of energy, relying almost entirely on glucose. After a long night of fasting, glucose reserves are already low. If breakfast is skipped, the brain is deprived of its main source of fuel, leading to hypoglycemia, low blood sugar. This can cause dizziness, confusion, and in a vulnerable state may even contribute to a vascular event. The brain does not need a large or heavy meal first thing in the morning. What it does need is a promise, reassurance that it will be supported. Dr. Hinohara advised his patients to begin the day with a small brain breakfast. It could be something as simple as 1 boiled egg, a handful of walnuts, or a few slices of avocado. Such a small meal stabilizes blood sugar and sends a message to the brain: you will be cared for today. Food is not only fuel, it is also communication. This change in perspective is profound. The third habit Dr. Hinohara spoke about is rushing into stress as soon as you wake. This happens when you grab your phone before your feet have even touched the floor. By doing this, you are essentially running an experiment on your own body. Looking at stressful news, emails, or social media immediately activates the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response. That sudden surge floods the body with adrenaline and sharply raises blood pressure, adding to the natural morning peak we already discussed. In effect, stress is stacked upon stress at the very moment when your system is most vulnerable. Dr. Hinohara emphasized the importance of what he called the golden pause. Before letting in the noise of the world, give your mind 10 minutes of calm to awaken. Sit near a window, look at the sky, take a few breaths, feel the warmth of your tea. You must establish peace within yourself before engaging with the chaos outside. This is not a luxury, it is essential hygiene for the nervous system. The fourth habit Dr. Hinohara often highlighted may sound unusual, yet it carries real health risks. It is ignoring the body's natural call, not emptying the bladder upon waking. A full bladder acts as a physical stressor. It activates the sympathetic nervous system and can temporarily raise systolic blood pressure by 10 to 15 points. For someone healthy, this may not appear significant. But for a person who already has high blood pressure, especially during that sensitive morning window. Adding those extra points can be enough to push the system over the edge. It is like one more drop of water in an already full cup. The body speaks to us in clear, honest signals. It tells us when it is thirsty, when it is hungry, and when it needs relief. Listening and responding to those messages is the foundation of health. Ignoring them, saying, "I'll wait," is the first small act of arrogance of the day. It is placing your own schedule above the wisdom of your body. The fifth and final habit, Dr. Hinohara often spoke about concerns movement. It is a mistake that can appear in two forms, either no movement at all or too much movement too quickly. On one side, staying completely still, lying in bed or sitting on the couch for an hour after waking, allows blood to pool in the legs, raising the risk of clot formation. On the other side, jumping straight into intense physical activity the moment you get out of bed can be just as dangerous. In the morning, arteries are cooler and less flexible. A sudden, forceful movement can act like snapping a cold rubber band, potentially causing a piece of plaque to break free from an artery wall. That is why Dr. Hinohara encouraged his patients to move like a river, not like a crashing wave. Wake the body gradually, not with shock. Before standing, gently roll your wrists and ankles. As you sit up, rotate your shoulders. When you rise, do it slowly. Then take calm steps around your home. The strength of a river comes from its steady, constant flow, not from a violent surge. This is how you signal safely to your circulation that the new day has begun. To summarize what we have covered, it is not a single habit, but a chain reaction. You begin the day dehydrated, which thickens the blood. You skip breakfast, which leaves the brain without fuel. You rush into stress, which spikes blood pressure. You ignore the body's signals, and you move in the wrong way, which places strain on the vascular system. Alone, each of these may seem like a small risk. Together, they multiply one another, turning the natural morning storm into a dangerous event. Dr. Hinohara always stressed that the morning is not something to fear, but something to respect. Health and longevity are not hidden in costly medicines or complicated treatments. They are built in small, quiet actions, the kindness you show your body in the very first hour of the day. Do not think of it only as preventing a stroke. Think of it as cultivating a life of health. You are the gardener of your body. Water it, nourish it, bring it peace. Listen to it, move it gently. These are the real secrets, and in truth, they are not secrets at all. A powerful and beautiful reminder. Dr. Hinohara often encouraged people to begin tomorrow with one simple change. Start your day with a glass of warm water and a quiet word of gratitude to your body for carrying you through the night. Your brain and your future self will thank you in return. On behalf of everyone here, I want to honor the timeless wisdom of Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, whose words continue to guide us. And to you, our audience, thank you for being with us here on my channel. The power to change your health is in your own hands, beginning with the first choices you make each morning. If you found this conversation valuable, please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more insights that combine science and wisdom, and I would love to hear from you. In the comments, share the one morning habit you plan to change starting tomorrow. I'm Dr. William Harris. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time.